Spectaculous Monday. Oh, this is a new one. Let's do this. Welcome. Even though nobody's watching yet, it's fine. It's being reposted as an IGTV. So for those of you tuning in, it's Monday in my part of the world, which means that it is another weekly guidance from the Oracle and from my intuition that is churned out today. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Kaylee. My hair is large and in charge right now because the tropical humidity is real, friends. Like, not lying. It's not messing around. Welcome, Robin. Okay, so it's a brand new week. I love Mondays. It just has such a fresh energy to it. And if we look back through so many different traditions or like energetics, astrology, all of this stuff, like the days have certain energies. And so why I do this on Mondays is because it really is this universal fresh slate. But the Western world kind of has Mondays a bit topsy-turvy. Mondays is kind of like you go back to school, you go back to work, you get back into it. And so much of our association with Monday is like dreading the new week. But I am reining that shit in and really asking you to bliss out in the joy of what a fresh new week means for you. Because obviously every day is a new day, but Mondays have the energetic qualities of this fresh slate, and also of introspection and reflection and contemplation. So even though in the Western world, Mondays are all about like getting up and getting at it and fresh week, new start, you know, it's got a really like masculine energy to it. Mondays actually energetically and intuitively ask that we turn inward. And so that's why I do these on a Monday. I'm actually going to be using the Starseed Oracle, which is kind of the deck we've been working with most of the time. This one's a collaboration between Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. It's my fave, and I just got such a beautiful reading out of it yesterday that is the one that wants to speak to you today. So as per usual, just tuning into your body, releasing expectations, noticing how you're feeling, where you might be holding tension. And then what I'm going to ask you to do, oh, hey, Mandy, I see you. Then what I'm going to ask you to do is bring to mind something that feels sticky inside, something that's got you stuck or on a loop. Yeah? So it might not be a really big question. It might not be something huge that you need clarity or insight on, but what's a place in you that you keep coming to the same point, that you keep, hey Jade, that you keep like butting your head against, you know? What's the story that's really asking to be released here? So whatever comes to mind straight away, I want you to work with that. Don't judge it, don't edit it, don't be like, oh, there's got to be something better than that or more important than that. It might be really simple. It might be around a habit or your body image. It might be around the way you eat. It might be an excuse. Just bring to mind anything that you have resistance to and a feedback loop that you keep coming back to. Maybe procrastination, distraction. Maybe it's every week you intend on Mondays to set better boundaries with Instagram, but here we are, you know, that kind of thing. And so while I'm just tapping into who's watching this, whether it's now or in the future, and what they really need to hear, I just want you to bring to mind that feedback loop that you're ready to alchemize, to transmute, to create space for something new. And just rest easy in this moment of awareness. Because once we have awareness, we have a new choice. Right? Oh, hey Kel. Okay, that was easy. Ooh, okay. My immediate feeling was like no for that one. So I'm going to pull another one and then I'll share it afterwards to see if it makes sense. Okay. This one makes more sense because we pulled it for the virtual retreat on Saturday, but I'm still going to show you this one because it was the second card. This is called Cracked the Fuck Open. They didn't write the fuck, but you know, they mean that. Rock bottom. Surrender to the of life. The reason why I don't even need to read this is because I've pulled cards so many times and I'm very familiar with the cracking open, which is, oh, hey, Em, yeah, you're here too. Which is, oh, such a big theme right now. And what I just presented to you with bringing, yay, Logan's here too. What I'm bringing to mind right now by asking you to bring awareness to a feedback loop is that this cracking open, this new world that we're bringing into being, the feedback loop cannot coexist there. You can't bring it with you. Hey, Cass. Oh, all my favorite people in one place. Thank you for joining in. Cass, look, I pulled it again. Me and her co-hosted the virtual retreat on the weekend. So what this card is really speaking to is like an initiation to fragment ourselves on purpose, right? You probably haven't heard anybody say that like intentionally, because so many of us are living in parts and pieces anyway. It's like we're Frankenstein's all sewn together of, you know, my lineage here and my history there and a story from childhood over here and the future worry over here. But what I'm talking about with this fragmented self with intention is, where can we pull apart those pieces that are in our operating system not serving us, that are constantly bringing us to a metaphorical rock bottom, aka the feedback loop you play again and again thinking it will get you somewhere different, and then you hit the end of it and you're like, oh, I'm still here, nothing's changed, right? The feedback loop from hell is still creating the same result because it wants to keep me safe. And so when we hit this rock bottom, which essentially just means awareness of like, I'm not going to get anywhere. This is rock bottom of this belief or this thought process of this situation. Maybe it might not even be an inner program that you brought to mind before about the feedback loop. It might be a relationship that you keep running back to that you can't seem to shake off. It might be a person, right? So when you get to the bottom and you have this awareness, then you have a choice. That's all there is to change. We want to make it so much more complex than that. The mind wants like the 10-step process. I always say that, right? We want to be like, yeah, but how? Yeah, but how? But really, it's 2 steps. Awareness and then a new choice. And you can choose the feedback loop again. It's still going to be there. That's fine. But to surrender to the alchemy of life, to be cracked open, means to peel that layer away, to fragment, and then decide what you're going to do with this fragment. Are you going to burn it? Are you going to be in reverence of it? Are you going to thank it? Are you going to fucking throw it into the ocean? Are you going to yell at it? Are you going to set it on fire? It's your choice. I'm glad that this is resonating, Kaylee. I'm assuming that from those fire emojis, you're like, yes. So I'd love to hear from anybody that is watching live. What is a feedback loop from hell that you experience? And when I ask you that, I'm talking to a belief, a situation, something recurring that constantly brings you the same result, even though you hope it doesn't. Even though you want it to take you somewhere new, you still experience this same story playing out over and over. So this card is just really telling you, or inviting you, rather. I'm feeling flashy. It's telling you, to fragment intentionally. What are the parts of you that cannot come with into this new way of being? It's your choice. Now, how this card might support that card, which is the original one that flung out that initially I was like, ooh, I haven't seen it before, so I'm not actually familiar with this. I'm going to be totally honest with you. A really cool thing about decks that really resonate with you is that you pull the same card over and over and over, which just means that you have a tight relationship with the deck. So this one is really for you guys. So just have a little check out of the artwork there. We've got a dude, some birds. It's a very masculine image. And Cass, thank you for sharing that. I am not enough ever, ever, ever. Anybody resonate with that? Core feedback loop from hell of humanity. Kaylee, awesome insight. Thank you for sharing, love. So this second card, Star Brothers, is talking about Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. All qualities of the divine masculine. Not the toxic masculine, but the integrated masculine. Yeah, it even says Star Brothers. And so this to me feels like a reclamation of our divine masculine. So if we were to fragment the old parts of us that aren't serving us, that are coming from a wounded place, we're left with space, right? And that space, the feminine wants to fill. The feminine is always hungry to fill space. It's why we eat chocolate when we're lonely. It's why we binge Netflix when we want love. The feminine always, oh my gosh, I'm sweating so much because I've got the aircon off so that you can hear me. But I'm sweating so much in case you see the literal drips coming off me. So when we have space, when we release a feedback loop, when we release something that isn't serving us, we're like, oh, look at me, good job, burning ceremony, awesome, here I am with my space. And then we go, oh fuck, what do I do with this space? It's so uncomfortable. What do? I fill it. I should eat all of the peanut butter cups. I should Instagram scroll for the next 2 hours so I don't have to feel the gaping void of this hole. Does anybody resonate with that? I would love to hear from you. And so what we need to learn, if you're a woman reading this, listening to this, but even if you're a man, we all have feminine and masculine energies. We know this. It's not about being male or female or however you identify. It is about marrying those energies within us so that we can be both the container and the flow. Yeah, both the meat suit and the soul. So Star Brothers, even though I haven't even read the description yet, I will do that actually to give a more accurate reading, but this is what's just coming through, is to support this cracking open, we need to know how to hold ourselves. We need to know how to fill ourselves in healthy ways, not destructive ways, when we have the space, because otherwise we will create what we've always known, which is just let's pull up another feedback from hell and fill the space with that, because that feels safe. Yeah, this is talking about safety. So practicing trust with the divine masculine is an awesome thing to do, especially if you're single. If you can cultivate a relationship with your own divine masculine, oh my God, you become like dripping in magnetism to call in a partner that is in their divine masculine rather than operating from their toxic masculine. So how are some ways we can do this? I would love for anybody to just pop in the chat box. What do you think the divine masculine is? What do you think its purpose is, its role? How do they serve you? How do they take care of you? And I'm talking about within, right? Not like externally, but you might have an example from how someone in your life in their divine masculine has taken care of you. But this to me is really talking about protection, loyalty, safety, trust, and even just this imagery. The words are just you holding you. You holding you. Because if you cannot hold you, nobody can hold you. This world cannot hold you. Pachamama can. Mother Gaia can. But society cannot. A man cannot if you don't know how to hold yourself. Not really. A job cannot. Any material item cannot. So creating loyalty with self means to create trust with self, to cultivate a relentless showing up for holding you in that spaciousness. Does that make sense? So when you do alchemize something, when you do bring a new awareness to mind, when you do make a change and you're left with that gaping space, and because the space is too scary, you fill it back up with other stuff really quickly instead of taking the time to really tune into what you want that space filled with, is practicing how to be in your divine masculine. Yeah? It's like you're the foundation and the walls of the house. Fuck the roof. The feminine doesn't need the roof. She wants to blow the lid off. But then your feminine, your space can be within that foundation. Yeah, that I'm a visual person, so I needed to say that. Direction and guidance. Yes, such beautiful masculine qualities. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit out of this for this particular card because I haven't seen it yet. So I'm curious as to how any of that might cross over and support that message. But is everybody kind of feeling this? Hey, Jules. I see her. Just doing some oracle reading over here, you know, in the sweaty tropics. So yeah, I want you guys to tell me when you release a behavior or when you have clarity or awareness around something and you want to change it, or, you know, you release a relationship, you make space for something else by saying no, what do you do in that space? What's your tendency? Because we're all running around like, I want more space, I want more space, I want more space, I don't want to go to work. And then look at what we've created. We have the space. So what are you doing? Just watching yourself. This isn't an opportunity to self-flagellate in any means. This is just curiosity, right? The feminine literally, I said this on the retreat, if anybody was there on the weekend, virtually, obvs. The feminine literally is a hole that needs to be filled before she can give, before she can create. Are you with me, people? Anatomically, we are a whole. The feminine is just like the void of all creation. Yeah? And so we're constantly seeking to fill that hole, whether it's with junk food, whether it's with poetry, whether it's with flowers or fake eyelashes or dicks. We're constantly looking to fill that hole. And if we're not being super aware about what we're allowing into that hole, into our space, then it can very quickly become toxic if we don't have a divine masculine energy protecting us that we trust. Yeah? All of this makes so much sense when I start jibber jabbering. Okay, so the Starseed Soul Inquiry of this card, just to give you the official reading of the Star Brothers card, is how can you open yourself up to receiving more support? So inquiry for this week, how can you open yourself up to receive more support? And I'm going to ask you not to think about this in the 3D, not from other people, not from asking other people for help, but how you can hold you even better. You're more protected than you can ever imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Does anybody feel like suspicious of people that want to support them, or even maybe suspicious of the way that they support themselves? Like it feels a bit uncomfy or gross? Or feel like it's not safe to let our guard down? Yeah. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. Lucky we're creating a new one right now, huh? They want you to feel deeply secure and safe even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. Crack open, hand it over, surrender to the space, trust in how safe you are and how held you are. Oh, so good. Yes, I love that. 222 LLK, whatever your real name is, with ya. So you're being guided to stay open to receiving a greater level of support that you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond. And I really want you this week to focus in allowing in the beyond aspect. Yeah, we're going way further than the 5D right now. And so we all need to get more comfortable with calling upon the subtle realms for support, whether that's just your relationship with you or you have a relationship with a different force. Like, utilize that, start to cultivate that trust muscle. Yeah, to call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. So good. I'm so glad, Kaylee. Thank you so much for sticking all the way through with me. It's so beautiful. Does anybody want to use this space to, in the chat box, like release something, alchemize something, like whatever feedback loop from hell that they're being asked to fragment, to crack open from? You can just let me know in the comment box below, and do it intentionally, right? Like, know that your words create worlds, that everything you do is an extension of self. So even if we're on fucking Instagram Live or IGTV, your comment has potency. There's a magnitude of energy behind it. So if you're ready to let something go, type it out, send it off into the ethers. Geez Louise, this is going to be up for 24 hours and then reposted on IGTV. I've just pulled 2 cards for everybody for the week, so you can head back to the start and watch the full reading. Yeah, it's these 2. But you'll get so much more out of it if you tune in from the start. Thank you for dropping in. Alrighty, beauties. Thank you so much. I love this. It's so fun and I'm so sweaty. Oh God, seriously. It's just atrocious, isn't it? I love you so much, and I'll see you this time next week for another oracle reading. I hope that landed with you and supports you to utilize this energetic opportunity to crack open and surrender to life, and to be supported and protected in that process, because I know it is hella scary. Ooh, I know it's hella scary to open the back of your heart when you really want to harden. Thank you. Mwah. If you think that this would land with anybody that really needs that message, please tag them. Please send me through the ethers. That really helps. I think I've said a few times that Instagram seems to be blocking me now because I swear so much in my captions. And more people are sharing my posts. It's super weird. So yeah, if you want to tag people or even send it privately through messages, that would be awesome. And have an amazing day. Larissa, there we go. I'll remember that for next time. Bring in the unconditional love. Happy Monday and miracles and magic to you. I'll see you soon.